We're here for our October AHOP, which falls in line with our Fire Prevention Week, which is fire safety starts with you. Pay attention to fire prevention, and we're going to make sure we're hitting all of our residential neighborhoods today and stressing the fact of our most vulnerable populations of the senior community and our children. Just doing our monthly initiative called All Hands on Prevention. We're going to make sure that you have working smoke detectors. We have some other good information in there about cooking safety and everything like that, and fire escape plans. On these detectors here, you have to push the test button, hold it for 3 seconds, and then let it go. And it should be an audible sound like this. All right.
Hi, my name is Dakota Feathers. I'm a sergeant in the Office of the Fire Marshal. Today we're talking about fire safety in the kitchen. So little things such as turning pot handles to the rear of the stove, keeping the area clear of flammables such as paper towels and dish rags, and also keeping the lid nearby once you're cooking. So if anything happens, like a small grease fire, putting the top on the pot and cutting the burner off will help drastically with keeping the fire contained.
Today we're going to talk about cooking fires. Cooking fires are the leading cause of home damage and fire deaths in the city. Be sure that you're not leaving your stove unattended when you're cooking. If you're going to be cooking and doing other things in the house, make sure you set a timer to remind yourself that you are cooking. Never leave the home with your stove or your food on the stove. Stay safe. It's Fire Prevention Week.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Canry. I'm the Fire Marshal for the District of Columbia. I'm standing here in front of our hazard kitchen, which was purchased with grant funding from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And these devices allow us to go out into the community and show some of the hazards of kitchen fires in a safe environment.
Hey there, my name's Truck Nguyen. I'm one of the sergeants at the DC Fire Marshal's office, and I want to show you our hazard kitchen. Because remember, cooking safety starts with you, and pay attention to fire prevention. So I'm wearing a very nice robe because I like to sleep at night in comfort. And I've got very long sleeves though, so when it's time for breakfast and I'm cooking, it's very important that I am very careful about where my sleeves go. It would be a better idea for me to wear tighter clothing or to just stay clear of the toaster. Other things that you don't want to do in the kitchen, right, is let's say you have a piece of toast that's stuck in your toaster. What you don't want to do is use your fork to pry it out because you might just have a very shocking experience. In addition to that, in terms of electrical safety, it's very important that you try not to overload outlets, right? Here you can see that we have an octopus outlet, which is an outlet in which we've got 3 or 4 things plugged in. That's a very dangerous situation. You really should just try to keep one plug in each outlet as best as possible. Over here at the cooking station, there's a couple issues, right? First of all, we've got this handle that's over the surface of the stovetop. Animals, kids, you could accidentally knock it over, and we all know how dangerous it is to get oil on yourselves while you're cooking. We also have a couple of items that are made of cloth here that we've placed on the stovetop. That's not such a great idea, even though I know right now this burner is off. Who knows who might turn it on, or I might forget and I might turn it on. And so it's a better idea for us to take these things and put them somewhere a little bit safer. Finally, we come across a stovetop fire, right? Your first instinct might be to put water on this, but that's a very dangerous situation, especially if you're using oils. So the safest thing for you to do is, if you have a fire inside of your pot, is to put a lid on it and snuff that fire out. And so remember, this season when you're cooking for all your friends and family, stay safe and keep fire prevention in mind.
introductory culinary class, and I just think because they're working from the ground up, the information that we have to give them was very important, especially about cooking, the skulls, staying out of the kitchen with little people, and keeping your pets out, and just being conscious.
If you're going to be cooking, make sure you prepare the food before turning the stove on. Number 2, try not to be a distracted cooker. Make sure that you have a fire extinguisher, an ABC preferably, in the home. Those are some of the things that you want to keep in mind when cooking in the kitchen. If your fire is too high and you have grease and the grease is popping, you can still get burned. You can knock the pan over. So we want to prevent fires from taking place, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're in the kitchen.
I'm Maurice Bolden, Sergeant of the Fire Prevention Office. Here we're going to talk about keeping our pets and our children safe from the stove as we get into Fire Prevention Week. We're going to make sure all of the children and pets are 3 feet away from the stove, ensuring their safety of any harmful burns or any danger or worse.
Hi, my name is Tracy Cooper, Captain Cooper with the DC Fire Department. I'm here to talk about loose-fitting clothing. Be mindful of your clothing being loose when you're cooking around the stove, and roll your sleeves up.
Cooking safety starts with you. Pay attention to fire prevention.